Hi everyone, I am going to do a demonstration on the project that I called Unconventional Tools. Remember again, this is just a project to experiment with mark making, but it's also to help you develop a sense of how to begin a piece of artwork when you're thinking mainly about the marks, the textures, and the colors. So, this would be called I am losing my word. I'll come back to it in a second. It's not abstract, it's non-objective. That's the word I'm looking for. Non-objective. It doesn't have any subject to it that is in reference to something real. So I want you to make this piece non-objective. I failed to mention in the assignment sheet that it's always nice to put a base layer of some color or something down. You don't have to do that, but it might help to kind of bring together the whole entire piece. It also might help to build layer, which I do want you to think about. I have some watercolors here. I'm going to be making sort of a orangey brownish color. So I think I'm going to use a little turquoise and just put like a light watercolor wash. I am using a brush because I'm at school and I actually don't have very many unconventional tools at school to choose from. At home I think you'd have a lot more, but just putting like a little layer of color down on your paper. I'm going to put a little orange because when the orange blends with the blue, it will create a lower intensity color, and I like lower intensity colors in my pieces. I like to have neutrals, which is why I am choosing these colors. So I also have a palette of tempera. I have yellow, magenta, and cyan. I'm going to take some of the yellow and put it in the middle, and I'm going to take some of the pink and mix it with the yellow, and you'll see it'll turn like an orangey color. And then I'm going to put a little of the cyan in to kind of tone it down. And then you can see I'm using a brush right now. But what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to take this color, and I found a plastic cup in my cabinet, and I'm gonna paint over the ridgy area. So there's like a ridge right here. I'm painting over that with the tempera. And you might have to experiment with how thick you do it, but I'm gonna actually roll the cup and see if it, if I put my hands inside, maybe it'll press. So I actually really like this. And one of the cool things is that you can, as you're using the paint on the object that you use to create the texture, you start to lose paint and it gets lighter, but that's kind of nice to have that variety of how strong the paint is. So I tried to balance out the marks. Another thing I might try, I got myself some netting. This is called tulle. And I'm actually gonna put it down on the paper, and I'm gonna take a little of this pink paint, and I'm gonna just dab it into the tulle and see if it leaves a pattern. It should. It does have a texture to it. You can see the texture. Now I put that blob there. I would like to put some more to balance. So I want to You know, if you don't have a paintbrush and you do something like this, you can use a toothbrush, or you could use a cotton ball, or, you know, you can be creative with what materials you're using. This is just to give you like ideas of technique. If you don't have any paint, you could use house paint. This got really thick right here. I like it better when it's a little more lighter texture, so maybe less paint. But you could use house paint. You could use some of the things from that list that I gave you, like soy sauce or mustard or ketchup or anything that has a color that, you know, you need. I can send home some paints for you. Other things to try. I mean, I'm gonna put a little of this ink and make some, I might be making some bold marks on here. I'm gonna put a little of this ink. You could use something else. And I'm gonna try out this string and see what happens. I'm gonna tie a knot in the string and maybe one more. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm not sure. Okay, so I made this knot. I'm gonna dip it in the ink. So yeah, my fingers are gonna get all inky, but I don't care. And I'm squeezing the ink out of the string. And I'm gonna press. Whoop, I got my fingerprints in there. So I'm trying not to touch the paper with my finger. Maybe I want some more of the string. And like, you can see what I'm doing. You don't have to do what I'm doing. You can try something else. I mean, maybe just making marks with that knot. So then I start to look at it and I think, okay, is this balanced? Does it feel like there's something missing? I do kind of feel like there's something missing. I'm gonna actually use the cup again. And maybe I think I'm gonna just try to use this yellowy color, a more bright, so the orange that I made, and I'm gonna paint the rim of the cup. And I'm gonna, you know, make ring marks with my cup. Looks like I need more paint. I'll use some pink. You know, you want to balance things. So if it looks like, you know, there's not enough on one spot, then there probably isn't. You could also use the bottom of the cup. I actually want more of the orange, so please excuse my mixing time. But I'm gonna make that orange and I'm gonna paint the bottom of the cup. This, we'll see what happens. Oh yeah, bigger, smaller size in circle, but thicker with some texture. So super cool. Lots of things you can do. And this, notice that I'm using limited color because that helps kind of keep it unified. And I make sure that I'm reusing the colors over and over again. I did use this blue in the background, so maybe what would be nice, I have a feather here. Let's see how this works. Ooh, it's a little thick. So I'm putting that turquoise on the feather. Let's try to spread it back out. I think I have too much on here. Yeah, I don't think this is... Oh, we got a couple little... Ooh, there, that's kind of cool, those marks. So that kind of helps tie in that blue. These are neat. They're very like organic little marks. You could try to use the use the feather as like a paintbrush and make marks. And that's kind of cool, you know? I don't know if I like it better with the blue or without the blue. But this is the idea, and I hope you have fun with it. And I will see you in class soon. Bye.